There's an awful lot, Richard, in this proposed package. Will you take us through some of the main points?
Yes, Claire, this has been described as the most significant reform of the Defence Forces since the emergency of the Second World War. You've mentioned some of the key figures there. The annual defence budget going from about 1.1 billion, increasing by almost 50% to 1.5 billion by 2028. And that is 2 years ahead of schedule under the conditions, the recommendations of the Commission into the Defence Forces report, which you might recall was launched a number of months ago, really set out the need for an overhaul of the state's defence and an overhaul too of the culture within the Defence Forces, which had been described as a cold house for women in particular. So the funding element is being tackled by the government today. Simon Coveney getting cabinet approval for this very vast overhaul of the finances towards the state budget. One of the most important elements of that is a coastal and a tactical radar. Ireland hasn't had the capability to effectively police its own airspace, and it has seen incursions by Russian aircraft in particular over recent years. So this is one of the main facets which is going to be looked at by this overhaul. Speaking earlier on as he arrived for Cabinet, Simon Coveney said this is a very, very significant day.
It's a very significant investment in expanding and growing our defence capacity in Ireland. It's a recommendation that's very loyal to the Defence Commission report, and of course I think it sets a very ambitious path now for growth and expansion and investment by government for many years to come in the defence sector.
Well, the Defence Force is currently running at about 1,000 personnel short on what the recommended number is. So the government is effectively going to be adding 3,000 to bring it up to an overall increase of about 2,000 in the permanent Defence Forces staff. So that is another one of the key tenets of this. Also, the Minister seeking government approval for the payment of military service allowances to all those at the rank of private, of 3-star and able seaman personnel. There has been some criticism of this from some opposition politicians who say that Ireland doesn't need to be spending this much on defence as a neutral country.